By this point, you already have heard me rant about my issues with the new merge in my previous video, which if you haven't watched I highly suggest that you do. That said, in this video I will be talking about what Enlisted is doing and has been doing that has caused it to become a better game. Of course, this video has been made possible through the friends at Discord, meaning that if you haven't liked, subscribed or joined the Discord, I highly suggest that you do. That said, let's get started. One of the first things that we had for Enlisted was the addition of the new Battle of the Bulge maps, which are great. For those who haven't seen the maps, they are really amazing. After playing a few of the games, I can also tell you that they have the Pacific campaign in mind, meaning that the places where you can put rally points are at around 70 to 90 meters from the point, as opposed to the 50 to 60 meters away from the point in maps like Berlin and Normandy. That said, the maps themselves are quite balanced. I haven't yet seen a map that has glaring issues. The Americans' uniforms are really cool, and what better is that they are relatively historically accurate. Of course, there are some issues here and there with historical accuracy, but most of it is correct. At least it is not Italian soldiers being given German uniforms in Tunisia. In my view, what really makes Enlisted better after the merge is the fact that Enlisted can just add maps whenever they want. Basically, one of the reasons why I wanted the merge was that we could just add maps instead of campaigns, meaning that people wouldn't have to grind as much stuff. The only thing that the Enlisted really needs to do is to make accurate uniforms for that particular battle. Overall, this system that Enlisted is currently applying for the maps is great. Later on, I do expect Enlisted to be adding other maps such as Kursk, Leningrad, Aachen, Market Garden, and other maps. This is actually quite simple for Enlisted, not only because they just need to add the map, but because maps of the uniforms, factions, and even structure type. For those who haven't recently checked, Enlisted is giving us a lot of new tanks, mostly for the Americans, which is great. My big issue with this is that it is currently still in development, meaning that during these months the Germans will have a significant armor advantage over the Americans. That said, I do feel that Enlisted should take their time to make sure these tanks are not broken, since the Pershings do have a 90mm gun and good armor. The Super Pershing might be the most broken tank in the game, since not only does it have a stabilizer and a 90mm gun, but also heavy armor. For those who don't know, the added on armor was done by taking the hull of the Panther and putting it on the hull of the Pershing, and at the same time adding side skirts to the turret. In my mind, this is actually going to make his tank overpower, and judging by what Enlisted is doing, this tank is most likely going to be for a premium squad. This means that you have to buy it with cash, which gives the free-to-play players a harder time. The Japanese also do get heavy tanks, this being the Horai. Of course, being a Japanese heavy tank, this is only a prototype. Actually, calling this a prototype is a stretch, since only one was completed by 1944 and saw no action. That said, I do think Enlisted should experiment with these tanks, since Japan did make a lot of tank prototypes for their heavy tanks, and in Enlisted right now Japan has no heavy tank. Their best tank, the Type 4 medium, is in my opinion a worst version of the German Panther, most notably lacking the speed, armor and gun. That said, if Enlisted wants to be more balanced, I think Enlisted should be adding in Japanese heavy tank prototypes, not because they are historically accurate, but because they will make it more balanced, since Japan is currently facing jumbos. That is all it for the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the Discord, and I'll see you in the next one.